I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but if the Eagles beat the Arizona Cardinals, they're winning this division. Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh, Dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Everybody do it, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Monday, especially after the Eagles double walk the Saints' ass. I can't believe we beat the Saints yesterday. I'm shocked. It really shocked me. I mean, it's amazing. We shocked the NFL yesterday. No question about it. Now, before I get into this video, there's a few things I gotta say. First of all, happy birthday. Happy birthday to my beautiful wife. It is her birthday today. She don't look a day over 25. And I just want to wish her a very happy birthday and tell her I love her. Now, you know I'm serious when the hat comes off. All right, hat is off. Hey, yo, baby, I love you. How you doing? This body was made to give you pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, matrimonial duties. Happy birthday. Now, the other thing I got to say is shout out to Nelly 800. Nelly 800 was the winner of the Flick Chat contest, the weekly contest that we do. You win the $30, so you need to contact me. You can contact me on Twitter at YoPhilly500, DM me, or you could email me YoPhilly500 at yahoo.com. Email me there, and we will get you your fazools. But congratulations, and if you haven't, click the link in the description. It's free to join. Join my Flick Chat. It's a good place to talk to me between videos, and oftentimes you kind of get a perspective of what I'm looking at and what I might want to talk about in videos, because I post different news articles and things there. So check it out. Join. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the Eagles. There's a lot to talk about today. There is a lot on my mind, okay? First thing, I was so impressed with Jalen Hurts yesterday. I was so impressed with him. And the thing that impressed me the most about Jalen Hurts wasn't his running, it was his poise. You know, he was calm in the pocket, and he didn't try to do too much, didn't make any big mistakes. He caught a break because should have been a pick six late in that game, which could have been disastrous. He did fumble. But for the most part, I thought he showed a lot of poise. And for a guy making his first start in the NFL, I was very, very impressed. There's a big difference when you look at his game and Carson Wentz's game. Because I think the biggest difference is the mobility. It's the legs. It's the ability to get out of the pocket. When pressure was coming, Jalen Hurts didn't wait around for it. He got the hell out of there. He rolled out, he took off, and that's what you need to do. That is something that I've been saying all year since Carson Wentz walked in 25 pounds heavier. He can't do anymore. And I think that mobility in those legs are the biggest factor. Now, a lot of people were wondering last night who's going to start because the Eagles wouldn't name a starter. Well, they named their starter today, and it's Jalen Hurts, and rightfully so. He needs to start the rest of the season. That's just the reality. He needs a start. We need to see what we got in him, okay? And then, in my opinion, if he plays really good, then I would get him and Carson, and I would have an open competition and see who's the better quarterback. I think open competition, best man win, is a great way to have it. However, I will say this. I think it may be very hard to have both these guys on this roster for a long time because the fan base is split. It is split. And now, I have those people who come at me and say, dude, you love the Jalen Hurts pick now. You love it, right? You're so happy. You hated it, but now you love it. No, I still hate the pick. It was still the most dumb pick I've ever seen in my life, okay? If you believe in a franchise quarterback and you have a franchise quarterback, you don't draft his backup in the second round. unless you don't believe in him. And if you don't believe in him, you shouldn't have signed him. Okay? And if you didn't know when you signed him, you didn't believe in him, then you didn't really believe in him at all, because you don't make that kind of commitment to turn on somebody so quick. So I still think it was dumb. That said, that never meant I hate Jalen Hurts as a person, as a player. Didn't know a lot about the guy other than what I saw in college. Didn't really have an opinion if he could be a great NFL quarterback. You know, what people have to understand, and even Carson Wentz fans, okay? I'm going to have to go after some Carson Wentz fans because they've been giving it to me too. And I'm the biggest Carson Wentz supporter there is. Probably on YouTube, I'm probably the biggest. Okay? I am. I still think Carson has a lot of talent. I still think he could be an MVP type player. I still believe that's in him. But a lot of them are saying that I've turned my back on him. I've turned my back on Carson Wentz. When the hell did I turn my back on Carson Wentz? They benched his ass. I wouldn't have benched him versus Green Bay. I would have let him lose out or play it and lose out and go into next year and get the higher pick. They benched him. Once they benched him, the best thing for Carson Wentz to do is to sit and to not play the rest of the year. There's no need to put him back and let him lose, play bad, and continue to lose confidence because he has no mobility with that offensive line. Although they didn't give up any sacks yesterday. No Jason Peters. But, you know, I'm getting blamed for hating on Carson. I don't hate Carson at all. I love him. But Jalen Hurts, he's exciting. He's intriguing. He's an Eagle. I didn't pick him. I wouldn't have made the pick. But he's here. And let me tell you something. I always root for the team over the player. I am not loyal to players over team. That is just a fact. I may tell you my opinion. I may feel strongly about a guy. But that doesn't mean I put him over the team. And because Carson's on the bench, I'm not going to root against Jalen Hurts. Just like the same thing when Carson got hurt and Foles came in. I didn't root against Foles. I don't root against my team for the most part, you know, unless it's like a tank situation. But, you know, I love Carson. I like what I see at Jalen Hurts. And with this fan base being so split, I don't know. Maybe they can't keep both these guys. You know, maybe one of them has to go. We'll see. But, I mean, come on, guys. It's kind of... I've never been attacked by Carson supporters, you know, because I am one. But I will root for the Eagles. Think about it this way. When you think of me and think about what I think, if I didn't turn my back on the Eagles when they let Reggie White walk, who to me is the greatest football player I've ever seen, my favorite player of all time, what makes you think I'm going to turn my back now? It will never happen. I'm an Eagles fan first. Had to say that, okay? Had to say that. Now, the other thing we got to talk about is the situation that the Eagles are in, okay? Because here's the situation. The Eagles, if they go and beat Arizona, okay? And I'm not saying they are, because it's a tough game. I think it's a really tough game. But if they do, I'm telling you, they're winning this division. If they beat Arizona, they're winning this division. The rubber meets the road this Sunday against Arizona. That's what I think. Now, here's what the Eagles have to do for those that want them to get in the playoffs. The Eagles, if they win all 3 games, they need the Giants to lose 1 game. They need Washington to lose one of the next 2. They got Seattle, and then they got Carolina. That Seattle game, I think they could lose. And then, of course, they finish with us. So, if the Eagles win all 3 games, Giants lose 1, Washington loses one of the next 2, and of course they would lose to the Eagles at the end of the year, Eagles win the division. If the Eagles win only 2 games, then they need the Giants to lose 2, and then they need Washington, I think Washington has to lose out. So it would be a lot harder. And that's why I will say this. Let's say Washington loses to Seattle and the Eagles beat Arizona. You got to go for the division, man. Got to go for the division. But if the Eagles lose to Arizona, I think it's okay to start talking and start worrying about that draft position because I think it's going to be very hard, especially if Washington beats Seattle. I think this is the game. I think this is the game that will decide where the Eagles go. And let me tell you, the Eagles have done this before. Doug Peterson, the Eagles, they have gone on these runs late. If they beat Saints and then come back and beat Arizona, watch out. Watch out because they're going to get going. Now, for those that want the highest draft pick and are looking at the draft specifically. Okay, and I got to tell you, I make no bones about it. I am a very conflicted person when it comes to this subject because the brain part of me, the little pea brain in there, it says, take the pick. You're going to go to the playoffs for what? To play one playoff game? Maybe you win one round and then you lose. Now you're losing the better talent, the better picks. Is it worth it for the future of the team? Okay, that's goes through my mind all the time. Then the other part of me, when it gets to Friday, when it gets to Saturday, when it's game time, when the game's on, the heart of me, I want to win. I want to win, mother humpers. And I can't help it. Once it's kickoff, I want to double moonwalk some ass. So it's very conflicting, and I don't have a problem with either way somebody thinks, okay? But it's a conflicting thing for me, and that's why I think if the Eagles beat Arizona, I'm going for the division. If they don't, I'm thinking about the draft. Right now the Eagles are picking number 9. If they would have lost to New Orleans yesterday. They lost to New Orleans yesterday, they would be right now picking 4th. So by winning that game, they move 5 spots. That is a lot of spots, okay? If they lose Arizona, they'll probably fall back somewhere and end up picking in the top 10, okay? If they win a division, I think that they would pick at least 19. That would be the best pick they can get. So if you win a division, you pick 19. If you lose and you don't win a division, you're probably picking the top 13. Okay, it's a big difference. And of course, when I talk about draft, I'm under the assumption, I run in my life and my future imaginations under the assumption that Howie Roseman is the hell out of Philly. What is it? That's what I think. He's got to be the hell out of Philly. You know what I mean? It don't go forward if he doesn't run. The number one thing the Eagles have to change is Howie Roseman has to be the hell out. And if he's not, then we're going to have the same problem year after year. I don't care who the coach is. It's not going to change. Rodney McLeod, I don't think I said this earlier. Rodney McLeod's out for the year. We wish him the best. Tore his ACL. Sucks. Hopefully he'll recover and be okay. But I think the Eagles, will survive. It's gonna be interesting, This game yesterday pumped me up, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, you're making too much of it. It was Drew Brees. Drew Brees wasn't playing, and all that." To me, it was the defense. The defense of the Saints is good, and the fact that we can move the ball with Jalen Hurts because of his ability to move was a huge thing, and Jalen Hurts, with the ability to move, is the big advantage that he has over Carson Wentz, especially the rest of the year, especially with this offensive line. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Arizona game, for all intents and purposes, this is all the marbles, man. This is all the marbles this week. You want to win a division? You got to beat Arizona. If you beat Arizona, I think you're the favorite to win the division. If you lose Arizona, you're probably done. So start thinking about the draft. That's how I see it. Cannot wait for this game. This is going to be like a playoff game. And I can't wait to see more Jalen Hurts. I want to see this kid. I want him to succeed. I want him to do well because he's an Eagle. And that's what matters to me first. That logo, even though I like the old logos better, that team helmet behind, that's who I root for. Those guys in there. I mean, there are a lot of guys that have played for the Eagles that I've not liked, like personally as a football player or whatever. But I root for them because they wear that helmet. And that's just the way it is. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.